Okay, hi guys, and welcome to another video. Today I am going to address the top 3 most frequently asked questions that I frequently receive. These questions are getting too frequent and I think it is time I address it in one video that can be referred to again in future. What are these questions? Keep watching to learn more. Hey, if we are meeting for the first time, my name is Keris Johari, better known as Pak Jofe, the Keris Collector from Singapore, your personal guide to the exciting world of the Keris and its collecting culture. If you are a fan of history, art, and mythology, embodied into these traditional daggers that we natives of the Malay world refer to as the Keris, be sure to subscribe and join our community right here on the Keris Collector YouTube channel. Before we dive into today's video, do let me address some important administrative matters regarding communications with the Keris Collector. First of all, please do not send direct messages or message requests via the Keris Collector Facebook page or Instagram account. These accounts are managed by my social media team, who have strict instructions not to reply on my behalf. Additionally, the settings are configured so that no notifications are received for messages sent on these platforms. Your messages will end up in a request folder and may never be seen again. There are only 2 ways to reach me directly. One, by commenting on my YouTube videos, which I will personally respond to you, or via the private chat page on my website. A designated consultant will assist you with your queries and escalate them to me if necessary. You see, I can no longer personally address every query due to my busy schedule managing my business interests. This is why I focus more on producing videos here on YouTube, hoping they serve as a long-term resource for future references. This initiative has been very successful and has helped many new and upcoming collectors and enthusiasts. So, to reiterate, please do not send messages via Facebook or Instagram. I no longer manage those accounts personally. Instead, communicate with me through YouTube comments or the private chat page on my website. The link is in the video description and the links section of this channel description. Now, some time ago, I created a video guide on making a warangan solution from Railga. In one of the steps, I mentioned the addition of babonan. Now, for those who might not know, babonan is a term for a warangan solution that has become completely inert through repeated use. It is considered the mother of the warangan solution. Despite being inert, babonan still serves an essential purpose as a catalyst in producing new warangan, speeding up the process along the way. But what if you do not have any babonan solution? Simply put, it will take longer for the solution to turn into usable warangan. Without babonan, you will need to let the rilga and filtered fermented lime juice sit undisturbed for at least 3 months. Personally, I prefer leaving it alone for 6 months. After this period, a workaround I use to trigger the reaction is to add some powdered iron to the mix. The ratio I recommend is 10 grams for every 1 liter of warangan solution. Then, leave this to sit for another 3 to 6 months. After that, you can filter the warangan and start using the mix. Over time, the warangan will darken. At this point, you will need to explore and adjust the mix accordingly. Initially, your warangan will react with your blade, but it might not stick and could wash away upon rinsing. you will need to make micro adjustment by either adding more lime juice or using the Keris blade as a catalyst to darken the warangan mix. In my experience, the warangan mix works well best after 1 year of preparation. Anything earlier and you likely won't get the desired outcome. Here is my warangan batch that I produced 2 years back, and this one I just made about 2 months ago. Look at the difference. It takes a lot of patience to produce quality warangan, but the results are definitely worth it. The next topic I want to address again is the importation of Keris into Singapore. I have produced several videos on this, yet I still receive many queries about Keris importation. The latest update video was in 2022, and as far as I know, it remains unchanged. You can check out that video guide right here. First of all, let's clarify what is meant by importation. If you are bringing a Keris into Singapore, that is considered importation. I can only advise on matters related to the import and export of Keris into and out of Singapore. If a Keris is leaving its country of origin, that is defined as an export. I cannot advise on the export requirements of a Keris from any other country. It is the responsibility of the seller to ensure that the necessary legal processes are followed. I am not responsible for solving export-related matters for you. I can only advise on import and export within the Singapore context. Now, for Singaporeans traveling abroad, if you come across a Keris outside of Singapore and decide to bring it back, please note that if you do not have an import permit in advance and the Keris measures 30 centimeters or more, you will be stopped at customs. Your Keris will be seized and held until you acquire the import permit. Now, sometime last December, I made a video about my friend Andre from Switzerland who experienced this inconvenience. You can watch that video right here. The key takeaways for importation of Keris into Singapore are as follows. Number 1, no changes to the requirement of an import permit if your Keris is measuring 30 centimeters or more. Number 2, if you are bringing in a Keris through airport, customs or other immigration checkpoints, the same requirements apply. Without an import permit, the Keris, if it measures 30 centimeters or more, will be seized and temporarily held in custody until you obtain the import permit. Number 3, export-related matters from the country of origin are not within my scope to advise. It is the responsibility of the seller to familiarize themselves with their country's export regulations. Please do take note of all of this and refer to this video again. I will no longer entertain repeated questions on this matter, especially from sellers looking for a quick, convenient solution. Anything related to Singapore, I can advise, but export regulations outside of your home country are your responsibility to find out. Please do not expect your buyers to do it on your behalf. Another issue I want to address is the basic care and maintenance of Keris blades. Keris blades require minimal care if they are not regularly handled. Simple oiling will do. Now, for those new to Keris collecting, many of you keep asking me which Keris oil is the best. If you come to me expecting a specific answer that fits your preference, you might be disappointed. I will give you the most plain and simple solution that is accessible to many of us. WD-40. It is the most easily accessible material to treat and prevent rust. I try to avoid recommending traditional Keris oils because experience has shown that it leads to more questions like, where can I get it? Or, that's not available here, what do I do? Or, what can I substitute it with? So, to avoid this back and forth, I will tell you up front, use WD-40. Give the blade a spray, let it soak in the oil, and leave it to air dry for an hour until all the excess oil has dripped away and the blade no longer looks wet. This is the simplest and most effective rust prevention and treatment for crease blades that are beginning to show signs of rust. Now, common sense suggests that giving the blade a quick brush before oiling. Avoid using a wire brush. A simple toothbrush like this one here is sufficient. You can refer to the brushing method I shared in an earlier video right here. I will explore traditional crease oils in a future video, but for now, especially for new enthusiasts, put aside the complex information and stick to the easiest and most readily available solution at your nearest convenience store. WD-40 will do fine to protect your crease blade from rust. Hey, if you have learned something new from today's video, do have a care and remember to subscribe, like and share. If you would, your support will help this video reach out to other crease enthusiasts out there and will allow them to discover and explore deeper into the facets of crease collecting in upcoming videos. Do share your thoughts and questions in the comments below and let's weave the future of crease collecting together. So there you have it, 4 different issues covered in today's video. To recap, Number 1. Do not send DMs to my Facebook or Instagram accounts. They are managed by my social media managers and the messages there will be ignored. Either communicate with me through the comment section on this channel or send me a direct message on my website. Number 2. When making warangan, if you do not have babunan, the aged and non-reactive batch of old warangan, do not worry. It will take longer, but it will be worth the wait. Leave it to sit for 3 to 6 months before adding some powdered iron into the mix and then leave it to sit for another 6 months before using it on a crease blade. Make sure to filter the warangan first before use and storage. Number 3. Regarding the import and export of creases, please note that there are no changes to the requirements for an import permit if the blade measures 30 centimeters or more. A permit is definitely required. This applies to hand-carried items through immigration checkpoints into Singapore as well. Number 4. Basic crease maintenance requires periodic brushing and oiling. The most convenient solution to replace traditional crease oil is WD-40. If you missed my previous video on how crease collecting can damage your brain, check out that video right here. Until my next video, stay curious, start exploring, and keep the legacy of the crease alive.